Carla called.
Carla? From where? Where is she?
I don't know, Mom. She didn't reverse the charges, so I guess she's here.
Oh, this surprises me.
You?
What you want?
I wasn't there, Mom. She just left a message.
Well, tell me, what was it?
It said, tell Jean Carla Redland called.
Gene, I don't like to meddle, but have you thought about what you're going to do?
I'll just have to wait until she calls back. I guess. I don't know.
Just like her not to give anybody any notice. Gene, you better decide how you're going to handle this.
Yeah, I know. Say, is Jimmy still at basketball practice?
Oh, he'll be home by 6:30. You don't suppose you want to see him?
It doesn't matter what she wants, Mom.
Gene, there's bitterness in your voice.
Look, Mom, I'll tell you something. You know, I hope sometimes from the bottom of my heart that I'd never see that woman again.
Oh, Gene, I know it hurts. Lord knows I know. But if you're worried about Jimmy, well, you know, I don't think he sees it quite the way you do. And you know, he's young and got a lot of give. And you know, children don't get wounds the way we do.
Mm-hmm. Well, then why doesn't he ever mention her name anymore?
Well, maybe he knows how you feel.
Maybe because he feels the same way.
Oh, Jimmy will weather this a lot better than you think. It's you I'm worried about.
I'll be all right.
I don't know, Gene. Maybe I was wrong a while back. But you know, I don't think you ought to sit around dreading that call. But you know, there's really nothing you can do until you find out what she wants.
You know, Mom, I've waited for 2 long years. So what's another day, huh?
Welcome home.
I hope you didn't worry about me.
I did. But you're glad that I did, too. Where'd you go?
Come on. Where could I get an outfit like this?
Oh, I don't know. What, Mars?
Russ, I got this at Bloomingdale's.
So you went to New York, huh?
It's fantastic. Russ, the people are so interesting. The stores are great. You know, you live in a small town like this, college town, and you just begin to think that there's nothing else but, you know?
Don't tell me about big towns. I grew up in Chicago.
New York is not just another town. It's a whole nother world.
You saw Dave Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
And you signed a multi-million-dollar singing contract with him, huh?
Not exactly, but I did take a giant step in that direction. Russie, you thought we were great. You should have seen his eyes when I started singing.
Were you wearing that at the time?
For your information, I look like a wreck. We had just gotten over there from the trip. We ran into the studio, no rehearsal, no warm-up. Dave comes in, he tells us we're gonna have a gig.
We who, Becky?
The band.
Who'd you drive up with?
We flew.
Becky, you just didn't even tell me where you were going, why you were
Russ,
going.
I tried to tell you, and you were not listening.
I'm glad that you're back safe. And, hey, yeah, I'm glad that things went good.
Thank you. Sure you feel okay?
You want me to go out and punch my fist through the front door to prove that I'm okay?
Well, it's kind of what I expected.
Well, I'm full of surprises. Don't leave again without telling me, okay?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, look, she still knows that your will's phony, and she told Terry Davidson. Now, would you mind telling me just exactly what it is that Miriam has against you all of a sudden?
Harold, come on. I've got everything. I've got a nice house, adoring boyfriends, looks, money, everything that she's ever wanted. Besides the fact that her father is now living with me. Boy, you are uninformed, aren't you?
Charles Carpenter's moved in with you?
I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Yeah, didn't he tell you?
Oh, boy, I think I better get in touch with one of Miriam's druggists.
Harold, you look a little green.
That's shock, not envy. You're unbelievable. You knew that Miriam knew everything we'd done, and you still pushed her into doing this.
Look it, I didn't push her. I mean, I just tell her, and how she reacts is her business.
Her business could put us out of business.
Harold, you're going off the deep end. She doesn't have a shred of proof. She's just a whining, overdosed child who doesn't know what she's talking about.
To a judge, maybe.
Yeah, well, who else matters but a judge?
Let me just tell you the difference between you and me, okay?
Harold, that would take years.
Look, we're both guilty. But you think that by pretending you're innocent, you are innocent. I still know I'm guilty.
So?
So guilty people want to settle matters as quickly as possible. People who think they're safe don't care what happens. Or reinforcing the Davidson front line with information like this is not settling matters.
Look, you worry about Miriam, and I'll just enjoy being safe, okay? The fact remains that Miriam does not have a proof of anything. She has every good reason to lie, and everybody knows what a liar she is. But this time she's met her match. And look, Harold, if you ever get me out of bed this early again, you're fired.
Great. I get her out of bed. Charles gets her into bed.
Laurie, I appreciate you looking for office space, but I think you're wasting your time.
Oh, don't be a defeatist.
I'm not. I'm just saying that I know where I want my office to be.
Cambridge Woods, 8,400 square feet, especially suited for medical professionals.
Doctors in Cambridge Woods do nothing but orthodontics and facelifts.
Oh, it's not that fancy.
My heart's downtown.
Well, tell your heart to catch the next bus out. Here, Brentwood.
Brentwood. Sounds like a tennis pro from Cambridge Woods.
You're not even giving me a chance.
Well, what have you got in there from Chesterfield?
Ben,
Something downriver.
Ben, I want you losing your office to be a blessing in disguise.
Well, you don't need to high jump to suburbia to make that a blessing. I mean, you once suggested I rebuild in the Hollister Square area.
Until I realized all the other possibilities.
Laurie, I've got to tell you what's on my heart. I'm surprised and a little disappointed in the way you're reacting. I mean, you once talked about social work. You even talked about being a missionary.
I want you to put all your gifts to work, Ben.
Well, how do you know I wasn't doing that at Hollister Square before my office burned down?
14 patients in 2 months?
Well, aren't you putting a quota on God's work?
No, because I know he's a god of economy who uses his greatest resources in the greatest way.
According to his timetable, not our preconceived notions of wealth and expediency.
It's not what you think. Really. I have no interest in becoming the idyllic suburban doctor's wife.
And I don't want to be the noble ghetto doctor. I just want to go where I'm led. And a world of two-car garages and manicured lawns is not my promised land.
And what's the glare about?
You know, Never mind. Just tell me what it is so urgent I had to get over here.
I had a visit yesterday afternoon from our friendly insurance agent, who started tossing four-letter words around like debt and risk.
Common?
Not so common. As of yesterday, Hollister Square is an uninsured venture.
Pull the rug out, eh?
Lock, stock, and premium. Does that make you happy?
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
I have an idea, Charles. Let's burn him down.
I thought you were in tight with the insurance company, Charles.
Well, you thought wrong. In fact, that's your whole trouble. You just think. You don't research, you don't read, you don't even ask questions, you just surmise.
Now, just a minute. I'm not going to take the responsibility.
Oh, keep quiet and surmise our way out of this.
My brother-in-law.
You mean the one that has the Turkey Snackers
He
franchise?
sells life insurance.
If you tell me you got anything from him, the temptation to throttle you is going to be unbearable.
Well, he can get us insured. He's got pull with his company. The premiums might be a little bit higher.
I am not going to buy insurance from a man whose chief income is giblets and gravy.
Charles, I've never seen you so upset.
Harold, I have investors on the hook, architects waiting, application permits to be filed, all without insurance.
At least you got somebody to go home to each night.
And what exactly does that mean?
Nothing. Look, rule number one, the investors are not to know about this. Now, we can get out of it in time.
Well, I agree that the investors should not know about it. But I want you to go out and find a respectable company. Talk big, drop names, atone for yourself.
Well, this wasn't my fault.
Goodbye, Harold.
You wanted to have Martin's place torched just as much as I did.
Goodbye, Harold, I said.
Look, you're not going to do this to me again. You're always trying to find somebody else to lay the blame on for your mistakes.
Harold, the search ended the day I hired you.
You're awful quiet.
Well, not much happened while you were gone that we can talk about.
Want to hear about my trip?
Well, you haven't told me everything yet.
No. I haven't told you the details. Like how many autographed pictures Dave Cohen had on his walls in the office. Oh, you should have seen it. I think he knows everybody. He got us a gig at a really, really nice club.
Yeah?
And then he offered me tickets at the Garden with a group that was doing a concert the very next night.
Yeah, really, why didn't you take him?
I wanted to come home and be with you.
You know, 4 days ago, you said that you would never come back here again.
Well, don't question my forgiveness.
Don't forgive my wisdom.
What's that supposed to mean? Punch and Phil is wise?
Look, why don't you get yourself ready to go, and I'll walk you to your 1 o'clock class, okay?
I'm not going.
Why not?
Because Dave said that he was going to call.
When?
Soon.
Soon to Dave Cohen. Might be in 2 months, if at all.
All right, so I'll take a chance. Look, Russ, I can get the notes off somebody else and copy them over. You think I'm being nuts, don't you?
Well, I'm gonna go to class, okay? Hypothetical question.
What?
If that phone were to ring right now, and Dave Cohen offered you a contract with tours, albums, the whole shot, which would you choose? That or me?
Look, it's not an either-or situation, Russ. I never shared your black and white view of the world, so don't push it on me, okay?
2 months ago, you were asked if you'd take me as a husband. You said, I do. It's black and white then. Seems to me it still is that way.
Hey, Vicky, how about a little late lunch later on?
Oh, sounds great. My stomach has been growling chop suey since I woke up.
Well, mine's been telling me corned beef sandwich.
All right. Suppose I find us a Chinese deli.
Okay.
Hi, may I help you?
I'm here to see Jean.
On second thought, a granola bar from the cafeteria would do just fine.
You haven't changed a bit?
Don't bet on it.
You get my call?
Yeah, I got it.
Why didn't you call back?
I tried once.
2 nights ago when the phone rang twice and then you hung up?
You're looking well preserved yourself, Carla.
It's only been 2 years. You lost your job at WRD?
New management.
You heard about Scott?
I read it in the papers. I'm sorry, Gene. I know how close you were.
Yeah. Well, he was with me when you walked out on me.
Gene, this is a courtesy call. I want to see Jimmy. And what I don't want is you getting all indignant and protective. Now, can we manage handling this calmly?
Look, I don't want you seeing him, Carla.
Is it still so hard for you to be reasonable?
Yes, that's Carla. You know, I sit here and I see you looking all nice and everything, and then sometimes I wonder to myself, why I ever let you go? Why didn't I put up more of a fight? You could have just said nothing. You could have stood there, you know?
Oh, stop.
I mean, I don't have to be reasonable. I don't have to explain anything to you. I love that boy with my heart. My heart tells me that letting you see him is just what his fragile world doesn't need, Carla.
Can't stop me from seeing him.
Oh, so is that it? You came here to tell me that I can't stop you from seeing him, huh?
I said this was a courtesy call.
You don't even know the meaning of the word.
All right. Maybe in the back of my mind there was some groundless hope that maybe you still weren't the stubborn, self-possessed man I married.
The man you abandoned, woman.
I said it before and I'll say it again. You haven't changed a bit.
Carla, hey, I don't want you to have anything to do with the family you left me. Now, I have worked and cried myself to the place to where I can handle loneliness and I can deal with rejection. And my son and I are as close as we've ever been before, and I'm not gonna let you upset that balance that it's taken me over 2 years to establish. You're not welcome back into the world that you chose to leave. And I'll fight you if you try me. That's how much I've changed, lady.
Jimmy's part of my world, too. And you can't change that.
You've hardly said a word all evening, Charles.
Oh, just some challenges, problems in business, that's all.
Well, anything you want to talk about? I mean, I don't like my men to keep things all bottled up.
Oh, if we were to uncork this bottle, I'm afraid I'd never shut up.
Things are that bad?
Well, it's just that they close in once in a while. Hollister Square, Helen.
Do you miss Helen?
Hardly. No, I'm curious. I really would like to know where she is.
To Helen Carpenter. I thank her for not having the brains to stay with a man like you.
Nancy, what do you want from the Davidsons?
Well, it's an emotional debt, really.
I kind of figured that.
I don't want to go into all the horrible details of my childhood, but Nora was just cruel beyond words. But sometimes life gives me these opportunities to get a little revenge. And sometimes it gives me some surprises, too, like Miriam. Do you know that she told Terry that I had forged the will and destroyed the other one?
I can believe anything about Miriam, but don't worry about her. I'll handle her.
You mean that?
Well, if I can deal with someone like Harold Webster, I can certainly handle my own spoiled daughter.
Webster, when I told him that we were living together, he nearly fell off the seat. I mean, literally.
You told him what?
That we were living together.
So that's why he acted so strangely.
Charles, you don't mind me telling. I mean, Miriam knows, and surely she would tell everyone.
Oh, no, of course not. I just really don't quite think of us as living together. I've got a room at the hotel. I get my mail there. It's just that I don't always get back to that room at night.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Listen, if Miriam, the Davidsons, even Webster can't come between us, we're not going to let a little thing like semantics stand in our way, are we?
No.
No.
I'm kind of worried. You know, it's kind of strange. He's acting so calm and so polite, and he didn't even know where I was.
Obviously, you haven't told him.
That's just it. I did tell him. He didn't like what he heard, but he let it pass.
You know, I almost wish he was being impossible.
Why? Don't you fear for my safety?
Yeah, every night.
Oh, come on.
That's why I wish he'd be himself, so you find out how you got to get out of here. I mean, you were on the right track several days ago.
No, I've got nowhere to go.
Laurie and Ben's place?
Yeah, I wasn't welcome there, and besides, even if I was, it's really dull.
Well, if it comes down to dull and nightly muggings, I hope that you'll choose dull.
Phil, Phil, I'm in love with Russ. When we're singing songs, love songs, I'm thinking about Russ. And when you and I get out of a gig at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm kind of hoping that he's awake, waiting up for me at home. Okay, that needs to be said every now and then. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a naive young girl. And this way, if you hear me say that I love him, maybe you'll see me as a patient, hopeful woman.
Becky, you never have to worry about the way I see you. Nothing could be more flattering.
Thanks.
I've got it. Hello? Hello? Who is this?